Hey, what's up guys? This is Sean. I'm back again with another interesting, really cool tutorial build. I'm going to be finishing up Genji's armor, which I'm going to be working on the arms and the legs, and even cover some of the painting because, as you can tell, obviously it's painted. I think it looks really cool. What do you think? Let's just jump right into it. Why don't we? So let's start off with the shoulder pauldrons. Now, I got my pieces already cut out, and the parts where they join each other, I cut those in an inward angle. That way, when I glue them together, it should look something like this and not so flat-ish. And then once I got it all glued together, I'm going to take it over to my belt sander and sand off the edges and even round off some of the harder corners. And then I cut some circles out. This will be my accents for the shoulder pauldrons. I think it looked close enough, so let's roll with it. And I even added some Velcro, and also some Velcro with elastic sewn onto it. And these are the bicep guards. The Velcro that I added onto the shoulder pauldron will actually connect to this. Now I'm going in there and doing some undercuts because I wanted to get a little bit of definition right here. And I'm going to end up painting those in two different colors. I use my wood burner with a flat tip so I can burn the slots, so I can stick my elastic in there and glue it in from the inside. And here are the patterns for the forearm, or bracers, or gauntlet, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I cut the outside line in an outward angle, and then the center lines straight down, so that way when I glue them together, don't really do this corner beveled angle action. I kind of want it to be a really smooth look because this piece right here is going to actually wrap around the upper forearm area. Now some of you guys are probably wondering, what kind of wax paper am I using? Well, this is actually the back end of some vinyl graphic sticker stuff. This is the part that people normally throw away. I just keep it so I can do all my cosplaying stuff on there. Now I took the upper forearm piece to the belt sander so I can round off the edges, and here are the lower piece of my forearm. And gluing this piece together was a little tricky, but eventually I got it together and it looked pretty dope. And now I'm marking out some lines because I'm going to take my wood burner with a flat tip. I'm going to burn me some slots so that I can stick some elastic in there and hot glue it down from the inside. Now this gives it a really clean look, and it's also probably my favorite way of strapping down bracers and gauntlets because it's probably the most comfortable, because you can flex and it work with your flexing, if you know what I mean. And once you get it all put together, it should look something like this. I think it's starting to look pretty sick. Let's move along to the thigh guards. Now I don't know why I went and made the patterns for the centerpiece two-piece, but once I glued it together, it didn't really take form like I thought it would. It kind of did, but not as much. But as soon as I glued the outer pieces of the thighs, things started to take form a little bit better. So why not, let's just roll with it. Now according to my reference picture, the thigh guard actually only covers the front half, but I needed a way for it to wrap completely around the leg so that way it can hold on to the body much better. Now I'm going to sand down the inside portion right here so I can put some Velcro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew some Velcro onto the undergarment. That way it can hold the thigh guards up without using a belt. And then I'm going to put some more Velcro right here with some elastic sewn onto it. And it's going to wrap around the leg so that it'd be nice and comfortable when I wear it. Because you don't want your parts slipping off on you. That would be quite embarrassing. It's happened to me many times. And sometimes I'm not wearing undergarments. That's even more embarrassing. But at least I'm doing it at home though, and not at the convention. So yeah, your straps should somewhat hold together like this. And then I usually sand down the surface of the texture side so that way the contact cement can adhere through and the sticky Velcro can stick to it. And it becomes almost impossible to come off. Now here are the pieces for my shin guard. I'm cutting the outer lines in a straight angle, but the inner lines and the centerpiece I cut in an inward angle. That way when I glue them together, they'll have this cool corner piece which will cover or wrap around your leg much better. Now, if y'all notice, I really don't use hash marks, so the trick is to start with the corners and then work your center pieces together, and this will give it a whole lot cleaner look. Now, the reason why I don't really use hash marks is because sometimes the black ink will bleed through some of these lighter colors, and I plan on painting this silver, so yeah, the black ink will definitely bleed through, and it takes a little more work to conceal any hash marks that I put on my foam. So yeah, just something to think about. Now, I did draw on some lines, and this will be lines that I'm going to eventually burn out with a wood burner. This will give me some details, and yeah, it's just easier than gluing extra pieces on there. But I did glue this extra piece on there just to give it a little bit of definition to the shin guards, and then I put some Velcro and some elastic and some Velcro sewn onto some elastic. And here are the pieces for my boot covers, or should I call them artificial boot covers. Now, I thought about making it one piece, but it was a little bulky, and I like using this two-part boot cover method because you can actually adjust it, and it's a little more comfortable and it's not as bulky. But I will add some Velcro to the boot cover so I can tighten it up a little bit. And here are the pieces that I'm cutting out for my shoe cover or shoelace covers. Now I'm cutting it out, and then I'm going to round off the edges to give it a much cleaner look, apply some heat, and then roll it, and it should look something like this. Now I'm going to put some Velcro underneath it, and I'm going to take some more Velcro and lace it under my shoelace, and it should attach like that. Now here are the patterns for the neck guard. I've already got all my pieces cut out, and I'm going to take it to the belt sander and just sand the outer edges, because why not? It's going to give it a much cleaner look, and it should look something like this. And then I'm going to apply my contact cement, let it sit and dry for about 5 minutes till it comes to a tack, and then apply all my pieces together, and it should look something like this. Now that I got one side done, it is time to repeat the process over again with the other side. And once you have two pieces that mirror each other, it's time to glue them both together, and you should have this thing that looks like a neck brace. And you could probably wear it around and say you hurt yourself, but that's a pretty dumb reason to wear a neck brace. But at least it's a really cool looking neck brace. What do y'all think? I'm gonna apply some contact cement to the front of the neck guard, and then I got this scrap piece of foam right here. I'm gonna glue that down and put some Velcro on it. That way you can get that easy taking out, putting on action, I guess. But yeah, so far so groovy, and I'm digging it. Now it's time to mount this thing onto the rest of the armor. I put some contact cement where the trapezoid area is, and I also put the other half of the Velcro on there, and then I carefully aligned everything before I made the contact. Now it's gonna wiggle like this because, you know, I want it to be able to look up and down without it being all stiff to my neck. But yeah. Have you ever glued something together and then regret it and be like, man, and these contact cement, man, they hold like really good? Well, here's a little trick. I put some thinner into a syringe, and I carefully squirt the glued area together, and eventually the glue will become soft and come apart just like that. The reason why I'm taking this apart is because it just wasn't bulky enough, and I wanted Genji to have a little more oomph to his chest, you know what I mean, because he's supposed to be tough. So I just enlarged the or increased the pattern size and cut another one and glued it on there, and right now I'm digging it. It looks so much beefier than before, and I did contemplate whether or not I should do it, and I'm really glad that I actually did it. I even went in there and did some mod to the rib cage, and this piece I decided I needed to put it on there because whenever I test fitted it, and the shoulder pauldron would like somehow fall underneath the armor, so that kind of corrected the problem. And then I put this little thingy right here. I even went back and burned some more details onto the chest accents. And now it's time to seal this bad boy up and get it ready for paint. And I like to use acrylic paint because it doesn't crack. It will wrinkle on you, but you can always cure that with a hairdryer.
Now what I like to do is I'll take my acrylic paint and then I'll mix it with some water, mix it up really good to make sure there's no lump in there. And I like to use some Windex or this soapy thing, not too much, but just enough to keep the airbrush unclogged. Now next time I probably wouldn't use white EVA foam because it's really difficult to see whether or not if you have everything properly sealed, and I didn't really catch this until after I had painted everything. As you can tell right there, it wasn't completely sealed underneath and the paint just absorbed through it. No biggie though, just add more Mod Podge and paint right over it. And now I'll put about 2 or 3 coats of silver paint, and then I've shaded it. And as for the rib guard, I went and used copper paint because why not? I don't know the actual color, but I thought this color combination looked pretty good. And then for the accents on the shoulder and the chest piece, I use gunmetal gray. So yeah, it's starting to come together pretty cool. I actually like this color combo. I've never used this color scheme before and I'm really digging it. Now I'm going back and shading all my edges so I can give it a little more contrast to the armor, and it's looking really cool. And if you're wondering what kind of airbrush I use the cheapest one that Harbor Freight has. I think I bought this kit for about $14 and the compressor was like $50. Could be 60, maybe 390, I don't know. But yeah, check harborfreight.com or something. Now you want to check your reference picture often because if you don't, it will change on you. And I noticed I was missing some accents to the shoulder pads and to the thigh guard, so I went and cut some out and I applied it on with some super glue. Now this would have been a lot better if I had done everything before I sealed and painted it, but oh well. Poop happens, you just gotta deal with it. It's just cosplay, bro, ain't no need to lose it. I picked up this gloss green acrylic paint. I even picked up this glow in the dark stuff, but I didn't end up using it. But yeah, I thought maybe it'd be cool if it glowed in the dark. So yeah, so I went back and I brushed everything on, carefully did these guys on the abdominal, and so far, yeah, the green really did make it stand out better. So let's take a look-see at what we've done so far. These are the boot shin guard combo with the shoe cover. It should go on something like that. And then I put some Velcro on the inside the boot cover and also on the shin guard. But yeah, this is what it should look like. Here's a cool pan shot of the armor. Now this was before I did those extra mods to it. And here is what it looks like now after I painted it. So yeah, it's looking a little more like the reference picture. Here's a shot of what the thigh guards look like and also the arm. Now some of you guys are probably saying, well, these green accents is supposed to be recessed, not sitting on top. Well, it's also supposed to be glowing too and not made out of foam, but you don't see me complaining. It's just cosplay, bro.
Alright guys, I hope you guys dig the video. I hope you guys learned something. You're wondering why I'm really sluggish with the uploads lately. It's because I've been really busy with summer stuff, and now that fall is just around the corner and things are starting to get cooler, I'm going to be doing more cosplay and more cosplay fitting and stuff like photography, because I've been meaning to do that. But here in Texas, when it's 100 degrees outside, it's 110 degrees inside the shop, that is. But I don't really work in the shop. I'm just trying to make excuses. And another reason why it's taking me a little bit longer to drop videos is because after each build I have to go back and trace and digitize these templates with instructions, because a lot of you guys are like, we want printable templates. Hope you're happy now. But anyways, the templates for this Genji armor will be available. Check the links in the descriptions below and it'll take you directly to my Etsy shop. And for all you guys that are going in there and purchasing some of my templates, I really appreciate it because your purchases help support my channel. And Halloween is just around the corner, and I want to make sure I get out some really cool designs in the next few weeks. So expect a lot of content from me, because I want to try to push them out like, you know, like really fast. If you guys like what I do here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you guys can get notifications, because I'm very random. I don't really have a set schedule because, well, life happens, and I don't know what's around the corner. I don't know what's going to happen next. I try to do a schedule thing, but man, it just doesn't work. But yeah, follow me on my Instagram if you guys want to take a sneak peek at what's coming up, and like me on Facebook because I share there too regularly. Yeah. And I guess that's just about it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.